Hey guys, Jared Codling here, new hack every week, and this week's hack is a bit of a different one. It's one I've been weighing up whether to actually share with you guys because it is pretty evil. We're going to teach you how to destroy your competitors, the ultra black hat way. So first up, just super important, I'm not a lawyer. I don't know the laws in your country. Like we've got a really mixed crowd from all over the world in here, and I don't know the laws, so talk to a lawyer before you do this stuff. Don't take my legal advice. Some of this stuff may break the law, and I don't condone it. I don't promote it. I don't want you to do any of this. Be smart about it. And that brings me to my next part, which is Confucius once said, "Before you embark on a journey of revenge, dig two graves," which I think is really important here, because if you go into all-out war online with somebody, it's not like there's not repercussions potentially, especially if they know it's you. Now, another great man, my dad, always said, revenge is a dish best served cold. And he said this because, if somebody rips you off, they scam you, they're a bad person, over the years, they're going to accrue a whole lot of people that they piss off. And so you probably, if you do something straight away, you're probably the last person they pissed off. If you wait a few years, 10 years even, then by that point, they'll have pissed off so many people, you will not be the number one suspect. So that's an interesting point as well. Thirdly, don't do this for petty shit. Like someone got in an internet argument with you or something dumb like that. Don't do this just to beat your competitors either. If they're not playing dirty, then you shouldn't either. You should be able to win without cheating. You don't need to do dirty stuff, dirty tactics in order to win and make money online and have a successful business. So if you're doing it for that reason, then, I don't really condone it. I can't really think of any reason where you'd really need to do this. But, if someone ran over your kid and got away with it, I don't know, you might want to do this stuff. So anyway, this is what you're going to learn today. So destroy someone's business with reviews, negative reputation management, negative SEO principles, fucking up their pixel, fucking up their analytics, fucking up their autoresponder, jamming up their inbox, negative feedback stuff, and, breaking their phone, making it pretty useless. So there's a bit to this. So first up, reviews. So firstly, this may be illegal in some countries. I know I keep saying this stuff, but seriously, don't do anything dumb. But if it's not, and your competitor ran over a small child and didn't feel remorse, then do this to them. Types of reviews. So firstly, we've got Facebook reviews. They're really important these days. That your Facebook reviews affect a lot of things in the Facebook algorithm, but also, how, new people find you on Facebook and they check you out, they suss you out. Google reviews, so Google Places. It's quite often for somebody to Google a business before they do business with them. And then, any review site that lets you sign in via Google or Facebook. So I'm going to show you how to get fake accounts. So to do this, what do we need? Well, we need those fake accounts. And we need lots of fake accounts, potentially. Because if they've got a lot of good reviews or mixed reviews, it's harder to move the needle. But yeah, it's easy to get. So I go here, it's pandasmm.com. Now, normally they'll be in stock for a Facebook account. Sometimes they're out of stock on Gmails, but I'll show you somewhere else to get that. It's pretty interesting. Panda SMM, they give you cookie logins. So for Facebook, it works like this. They give you a bunch of text files. So let's say you buy 10 Facebook accounts. They'll give you 10 text files. And then you get a Chrome plugin, or they've got a Firefox one you can use, and you import these cookie sets. You just do it one at a time. So you're importing all of these cookies, and then once that's done, you're already signed into Facebook. You don't even need to have a username and password. You're just already signed in. So it's just that easy. So they've got a tutorial on there on how to do this exactly. I won't go in depth because I've got a lot to get through, but yeah, that's how you do it. So after you sign into Facebook, you can do whatever you like. You can leave 1-star reviews, do whatever you want, go nuts. You could theoretically use this to do good reviews for companies as well, I guess. So for Google, sometimes Panda SMM is out of stock, so I use pvacorner.com. So PVA means phone verified account. This is typically a pretty good account. They give you this, just a heap of emails, passwords, verified number, and recover email, just in case I ask for that. Sometimes security stops you, but most of this works. You should be using a proxy. You don't want to leave too much of a track. So you can get Hox VPN. It's a cool add-on for Chrome or Firefox, but there's heaps of VPNs out there that you can potentially use. Hints on leaving reviews. So using photos. So this is if you're leaving a real review too, because if you've been ripped by somebody, then you can probably leave a real review. Using photos helps a lot. Writing realistic reviews. With Google, it's going to fuck with their rankings as well. So if they're in, if they're in the 3-pack, which is like, you search for something and it's local businesses, there'll be like 3 on a Google map at the top of the search results. It can knock them out of there just fucking with their ranking here. Spread them out. Don't do them all on the same day. Like, make it realistic. Just be smart about it. So next up, negative reputation management. So, you can junk up their whole Google search. So if someone's searching for their name, you can make sure that that person, will see a lot of negative stuff, and, if they even do see them at all. So, this Kayard really screwed me once. This is all hypothetical. So I'm just telling stories, right? It's all make-believe. But, hypothetically, I might have made a WordPress site on WordPress.com, ranked it, found some bad reviews and ranked those 2. And then negative SEO their site to outrank them. So that could lead to, by the way, this is all photoshopped, but you could potentially search for their name and you would see this WordPress site as number 2. You'd see, this negative review site. It's a local review site. You'd see that. And then you see them on Facebook, but you can't even get to their website. So anybody searching for them is going to obviously know the truth about these guys, that they're pieces of shit. So, how do you rank it? How do you make sure that, you go and make this WordPress.com site and you want it to rank really well? I mean, it is just basic SEO. And so, I can give you like a guide on that. There's a lot of factors, but pretty much get the keyword density right. So the title tag and all the H tags and all that stuff, it all says their name everywhere. And the keyword density is like, 1.5% of the words on the page are their name or related to it. And then like rich data snippets, you can Google that. And just, really doing really good on-site SEO. Because what you'll find is most people don't have good SEO. So to have better than them and outrank them, it's really easy. I leave it on WordPress.com, so don't put it on its own domain. Firstly, because, you could potentially get a lawsuit and get tracked. So you just want to use a throwaway account if you're going to do this. And the domain authority helps. So because it's on WordPress.com, you can blast it with heaps of links. So I use blackhatlinks.com to just get a small SEO package and just blast it, and it'll normally do pretty well. As with SEO, it can take a little bit to rank, but mine's been holding steady there for a couple of years. So it's obviously got what I was trying to achieve. The other sites in the search results. So you saw like there was a review site. So big review sites, they can sustain a large amount of backlinks. So how it works with backlinks is with SEO. You want to have backlinks go into your site for authority, but if you do too many, then Google goes, oh shit, that's out of whack. That's, you're trying to game the system, and they'll derank you. So that's negative SEO. So you want it to be like realistic. But the thing is, like, if you go and write a ripoff report on ripoffreports.com, it always ranks well because they've got domain authority. So ripoffreports.com, it's very reputable. Google trusts it, and it's always going to rank well. So then when you blast a heap of backlinks at that, they don't think it's negative SEO. They don't think it's like going too hard. They don't think anything. They just go, okay, well, this is a really popular article on a really trustworthy site. Let's put that to the top. So it's really easy to rank something like that. I've done that in other cases where I've written a rip-off report, totally legit, and then made sure that outranks the actual site of the company that I'm trying to, that I don't like very much. So that's it. Now, negative SEO, just to go a little bit more in depth on that, there's 2 ways. One, you can just blast it like crazy, like do 1 million links. And Google's kind of caught onto that. They know that people were doing that, and they make it a bit harder. The second way, which I believe is the best way to do it, is to make it look more natural, but just way too intense. So, as I say, I like blackhatlinks.com, but there's plenty of places you can buy links from. What kind of link building do you want to do? So I'll gradually scale it up to like 1 million links, but you don't do it immediately because Google will know it's negative SEO. It's just too blatant. So you need to make it look like it's a normal SEO company would do it, but then you just get overly aggressive. So you might start with 20 links, and then the next day you might do like another 20, and then it's just like this gradual process, and then you start just ramping it up over the course of a month or 2. And if you do that effectively, you can get them de-indexed from Google completely, or you can make it so they just don't rank anymore. So, but you just got to make it look really realistic, and then it's like, oh look, put yourself in the mind of like an SEO company that just got too aggressive. So they were starting to win, it was starting to work. They'd done all these backlinks, but then and it's got all these natural keywords that they'd want to rank for. But then you just went too hard and pushed it too hard, and then Google penalized you. That's how you want it to be. You can't just go send them 1 million links on day one because they'll know what's going down. So Ultra Black Hat, Yeah, so this one, they changed how this works. So if you buy a bunch of adult websites and then you 301 redirects them, so you just like redirecting them to the site of the business that you're trying to get knocked out of the search results, it'll stop showing up in safe search. So it'll still rank, but Google will go, oh, this is probably an adult site. It's got a lot of adult sites redirecting to it. We better pull it out of the safe search. And that's a different algorithm that makes that decision than normal SEO. So that's a way to do that. Used to be able to just do heaps of adult keyword backlinks. It doesn't work anymore. Like Google worked it out. They've tested this. Just doesn't work like it used to. Might still work in some cases, but yeah, it's just not what it used to be. So you really got to get those actual sites apparently and redirect them, which is a lot of work. Pixel fucking. So you want to fuck their pixel up. So Facebook optimizes for conversions. It's one, typically if you're running a Facebook campaign, if you're collecting leads, you'll optimize for leads. If you're trying to get purchases, you'll optimize for purchases. But Facebook uses the data from the entire pixel. So yes, it uses ad set data and all of that, but it uses data from the entire pixel, even if the originating source of the traffic isn't from Facebook. So Facebook's logic there is, if someone purchases, like it doesn't matter where they came from, even if they weren't from Facebook, that's still valuable data because they're most likely signed into Facebook. So they know who they are. So the idea would be that you want to send a bunch of irrelevant people and it's just going to muck up their entire, all of the data they have on that business, on that pixel. Especially if you outweigh it and, they could be getting 100 conversions a day. If you sent 10,000, then you would just completely fuck up their optimization. And you'll make their lead cost or anything like that go absolutely through the roof. So how do we mess it up? So firstly, you want to install the Pixel Helper Chrome plugin. And then you want to find the conversion event that you want to mess with. It could be lead or purchases or anything. So I'll show you. Let's say I'm on a competitor. And by the way, Akbar's cool. Like I'm just using this as an example. I'll never do this to him. He seems like a cool guy. Saw his webinar. He's fine. But I just wanted to show you an example of somebody who's got their pixel set up properly and is susceptible to this. And like if you're doing shit right, you are susceptible to this. Just as I said at the start, if you start fucking with someone and they want to, and they know how to do this stuff, they could hit you back pretty hard. So let's say I'm on a competitor. I use the Facebook Pixel Helper plugin. It's just a Chrome add-on. And I can see that he's got this pixel set up and the event here is a page view. But then if I actually, click and go, yes, I deserve this, and I chuck in my email address, it takes me here, which is his thank you page, which he tries to get more details and all that, but it doesn't matter. The main thing here is the event for lead fires. So I know what URL now fires the lead event. Now, I also know that I can get to this page without having filled out the first step. If I was to just punch that URL straight into the URL bar, I could get here without filling in the first step. And that's critical. Because what we're going to do, we're going to copy that URL. We're going to go to plugrush.com, which is a place to buy adult traffic. And we're going to spend like $10 on mobile redirects. And that'll get you about 10,000 visitors. Now, be careful because it's illegal to DDoS someone, like denial of service. It just means you just flood them with too much traffic. And if you do go too hard here, you will break their site. I guess that's another hack, but I know that's illegal. Whereas, sending them traffic probably isn't. So just, total line here. But this will totally mess up their stats. So imagine that you've sent, you can make it target purely Android users in Argentina that like she-males if you wanted. So then Facebook's just going to show them people like that with their ads. If they're hitting a big audience, they're going to show them the wrong people. They're going to show them all these people, not necessarily unless they're targeting something that would resonate with that market. So that's how you would screw up their pixel completely, and it's as good as dead if you do that. So you can screw their analytics the same way. So just a hint, Google Analytics doesn't have a reset button. So if you drive heaps of shitty traffic, they can't just take that away. You can't remove traffic out of your Google Analytics. They don't let you. So if they track e-commerce in Google Analytics, then what you could potentially do is you can make a purchase, get to the thank you page URL, and then run plug rush traffic at that. So then what will happen is, in their e-commerce, it will look like they had millions of dollars in purchases from all these, she-male fans in Argentina if you wanted. And it'd be really hard for them to it's just going to screw up their Google Analytics and all their e-commerce tracking and everything. So, as I say, guys, this stuff's brutal. Don't do it. I'm just telling you if you ever had to do it. Next up, if they use an autoresponder or collect leads, like let's say they're a lead gen company or something like that, anything that's really got a form. Imagine getting 200,000 leads that were junk firstly, your bill for your autoresponder is going to go up like crazy. Secondly, like, how would you distinguish them? Well, you can't really do that. So the way to do that is this tool called Scrapebox. And it's like an SEO tool. It's got a lot of cool stuff it can do. And you can either buy it for like $100, whatever it is. It's a lifetime license. Or you can get someone on Fiverr to do the work, because there's like just so many people on Fiverr using Scrapebox. And what you want them to do is you load their contact form or like their lead form URL or whatever it is into Scrapebox, and teach it how to like fill that in like 100,000 times. So you want it to fill it in like 100,000 times. Now you can load in proxies. So Scrapebox has got tutorials on this, but they'll give you hundreds of thousands of proxies if you want them. So it's going to be coming from all different URLs. As I say, if you do this right, they can't track it. And then you submit a stack of randomized email addresses, and you can just generate these in Excel if you wanted to, because they're just going to be random characters at gmail.com. And so this would totally screw them up, especially if they don't, like, if they've got double opt-in, then it might not screw them up so bad, but it's still going to mess them up. Let's say you want to jam their inbox, so like their support inbox or something like that. You can go to mailbait.info and it'll just like sign them up on a bunch of emailing lists. Just total junk. And you just leave that open in your browser and it just goes nuts, and it'll sign them up for 50,000 like subscriptions or something like that. Negative reputation stuff. So I taught you earlier how to get fake Facebook accounts. So while you sign into that, you would go to their website and then get retargeted by them. So if they're doing any kind of e-com or anything like that, you want to get retargeted by them. And then you just go on Facebook, as you get retargeted, just flag them for spam. Just report the ad. And if an ad gets reported like 10 times, it does real damage on an ad account. It's pretty rare to get an ad reported. So you'll get their ad sent for review. You'll hurt their whole account. And if you're in a competitive market, this would help a lot. So that's that one as well. This last one, it's brutal. Brick their phone. So, who's relentless at calling a number? The answer is horny dudes. So I know telemarketers is one way, but it's just way easier to do this. So you make a bunch of fake Plenty of Fish profiles. Depends how hard you want to go, because you can get away with one. But you can use bots for this stuff. So you could create hundreds of these and have it auto message, and you could, if you really wanted to brick someone's phone, so they literally had to change their number. And so here's a URL, so you can just pause it and type this in if you want it. So it's just at scrapersandbots.com, and they've got this POF auto message sender. I think they've got an auto account creator too if you wanted that, but it doesn't take that long. So what you do is, like, you make it like it's going to be like an achievable hot girl profile. So if it's a supermodel, they're going to know it's fake. But if it's like this achievable hot chick, then they'll believe it. Have a valid reason for jumping off and transitioning to the phone and being so keen, because you don't want to get in a message conversation. You just want to bot it. You got to say, hey, look, I'm jumping off here. I met some real jerks, blah, blah, blah. Here's my number. Message me. If you're a real jerk, ask them to text your dick pics, and they will. And it works on mobiles or business numbers. If you just say, call me at home. Here's my home number. So that would work for a office number, a business number, anything like that. You could just jam it right up. And so I know from experience that this works, because we used to use this as like a prank on our friends. And you get guys calling like 6 months later. These guys are crazy on there. Some good photos and a good bio can get you like 150 messages an hour. It's crazy. Like, it is just insane. And if you're a real sadist, if you're a real psycho, tell them that your dad sometimes controls your phone and he picks it up. And if a man picks up, just abuse him, because he's a real jerk. So, don't do this stuff. I'm just telling you, if you had a real reason you had to do this, this is how you just totally fuck someone's business, or their life, or whatever. And I was really conflicted about making this. Just to recap, like, this shit's pure fucking evil. Don't do it lightly. It's not a game. It's brutal. And don't do it for petty shit. I'm talking like, if someone stole $100,000 from you and the law won't help, then maybe consider some of this stuff. Don't do it to just try to compete, because you should be able to win anyway. You should be good enough, and you should be able to compete anyway. And so, also, check with local laws. The laws vary a lot from country to country. I'm not a lawyer. Take all this with a grain of salt. Anything I talked about me doing was purely hypothetical, of course. I honestly, I wasn't going to make this video, but I've actually had like a number of people reach out. You know who you are, guys. You're evil people. Asking me what I would do. And, they have good reason. They've got competitors doing some pretty fucked up shit. So, I understand why they would want to do this, and that they need to use some of these tactics. So I thought I'd make this video. But that's it, guys. And I just say proceed with caution and be very careful and don't take this stuff too lightly. But I just wanted to put this hack video together just in case you ever really need to fuck someone up. All right, talk soon, guys.